Hey guys, audit rifles are good now. Let's talk about a couple of kinetic options that you can get relatively easily that I think have some really strong rolls. So we'll start with the 7 Seraph Carbine. It is a precision frame. This is not everyone's favorite, obviously, but it's not bad. It's got a high zoom value, or it's got a decent zoom value, 16. I honestly thought it was a little higher than that, but damage fall off is like 30 meters on this roll, and this isn't even a lot of range. This is like 30 meters with a roll that doesn't have a lot of range. Small bore Seraph rounds will accurize you and push it out slightly past 30. But the perk pull in this thing, absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Pure dueling, dynamic sway with target lock, moving target, get a lot of aim assist, or you can get some damage, a lot of stability, makes it more accurate as you're firing. Rangefinder is an option as well. Can also look for something like Swashbuckler. You get a melee kill with that. Pushes your time to kill down from 7 shots to 5 shots. Tier 8 and under is 4 crit, and you can mix in a body shot. So that's really strong. Hipfire Grip isn't a terrible perk, although I wouldn't bother since you can't craft this. For PvE, you've got 4th times with Frenzy or Target Lock. Again, very, very good. It's a nice mix of utility and damage, especially if you're a Titan. So this drops from the first encounter of Spire of the Watcher, and also from World Drops. So pretty easy to get a hold of. Has a good origin trait as well. When you break a shield of any kind, it refills half the magazine. So definitely worth keeping an eye out for if you are a fan of precision frames. If you're more of a adaptive frame enjoyer, you can focus Duty Bound at Zavala for 2 Vanguard engrams apiece. And it's like 20k Glimmer, which is honestly very hurtful, but it is what it is. This can roll the recently buffed Zen Moment that just absolutely annihilates all flinch alongside a damage perk. I would look for Rampage personally. Frenzy, not bad. One for All, PvE specifically, is at least very good. For PvP specifically, Dynamic Sway along with Zen Moment makes his gun a total laser beam. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Perpetual Motion is not terrible by any means. I just think Zen Moment is way better. Triple Tap, not bad on a PvE gun. You can combine it with 4 times the charm. It's amusing, but I would still go with Frenzy over that for PvE. And then for this gun, you really want to be looking into range. So you want Hammer Forged and Accurized. The recoil direction on this gun is 60 base, so Counterbalance pushes it to directly upwards. Also, it's a high handling stats. If you wanted to, you could honestly go Extended Barrel that pushes it up to 85. Just really shrinks the angle down quite a bit. So I think this is what I spend all of my Vanguard engrams for. So that Zen Moment Rampage roll. My current roll is Perpetual Motion, or you saw at the beginning of it, Hammer Forge, Accurized, Perpetual Motion, Rampage, Handling Masterwork. So good, but not perfect. Not exactly what I'm looking for. But I mean, like when Perpetual Motion is active, like it's got a crazy stat package. The killer thing about this gun that you need to keep in mind is it's 18 zoom. So this can reach 30 meters. And the other 600s in this slot are Last Breath and Perpetualis, both of which don't reach anywhere near that far, which I will show you here. My Last Breath, Foundry. Let's say you go high range on this with Ricochet, Hammer Forged, and a range Masterwork. Only 16 zoom, drops off at 28.5 roughly. Obviously, if you have a rangefinder, you can push it out to 31.5. So something like dynamic sway rangefinder is good, but you're losing out on a damage perk for that. Same with Perpetualis. You're looking at mine that is close to max range. Pretty bad recoil direction as a whole. Only 16 zoom. This dies off. This is with small bore and accurized, by the way. This dies off at 20, not even 28, like 27.5. Throw on a range master rig and you can push it up to 29. But it's still just it needs some help. So that's why I think Duty Bound just is an absolute killer. This roll isn't even good. This does not have a range masterwork, and it's still pushing further than everything except for the rangefinder last breath. If I got a range masterwork on this, I'd be pushing 32 meters. So just really strong gun. Definitely worth your Vanguard engrams, IMO. I don't think any of the other guns are really worth chasing currently. Maybe prolonged engagement. Or a malicious birthright if you haven't been able to craft the grenade launcher from Dares of Eternity, maybe malicious birthright. But I think this is what you should be focusing. And then obviously keep an eye out for this in case 450s ever become quote unquote meta in PvP. I think they're currently as is really good. They just take they have a learning curve because they are very crit focused. You do have to hit most of your shots as crits. Like here with target lock, if you hit most of your shots as crits, you can kill in 6 headshots in 0.67 seconds on tier 8 and under, which is absolutely insane. But you've got to hit all your shots. If you miss any shots, it drops off drastically. So yeah, I would keep an eye out for both of those. Next video, I'll come almost done tomorrow. I don't know what yet. I don't really have a great idea right now. I'll do the probably the raid grenade launcher. I think that's the master weapon this week. So that's what I'll cover. So I'll see you then.